Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Hump Day. How's everyone doing out there? We've got a updated spoiler on how Clayton's season ends. Now, if you guys know, every week for the last month, there's been some new information coming out. Of course, Reality Steve has clues as to what happens. A lot of times, as I've spoken with Reality Steve, it seems like a lot of his information comes from deduction. He realizes Susie's not, and I'm using hypotheticals. He realizes Susie's not the one. Then he realizes, so Sally's off the thing, and and so he puts all this information together, and then the truth kind of comes from that deduction. So by deduction, Reality Steve has more information to tell us. He said after the Woman Tell All, he's going to give his final thoughts, but this is where he stands now. He released this information yesterday, so we're going to get into this. Now, you might not want spoilers, in which case you can leave the channel now. That's okay. It's labeled spoiler. I say spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. But as we know, this season's spoiler, not so cut and dry. A lot that has been left up to the ethers of what may or may not be happening. So I'll give you guys 60 seconds to clip away. In the meantime, I'm just going to share this. I've been giving you guys an update. We really are back to neck and neck. Nick Vial's small YouTube channel and my slightly larger YouTube channel. I'm in blue, 680 new subscribers. He's in red, 682 new subscribers. So it appears we're growing at exactly the same rate. And as you guys know, back in December, we had a strive for 50. Who can get the 50,000 subscribers first? I won. But here's where we are. If you look right here in the mid-December, this was this giant boost that we had. That's because of you guys subscribing. So thank you so much for all the new subscribers. We've sort of leveled off in the last month or so, but let's do a quick reset here. We're currently at 52,504. I'll give you an update at the end of this video, and we'll see if that's grown at all. But either way, thank you to all the people that have subscribed and double-checked. Double-check now. You may think you're subscribed. If you watch my content, YouTube's going to show it to you, but that doesn't mean you are subscribed. So we appreciate all those that are jumping in the subscriptions. All right, so Pilot Rachel in the middle there, Gabby on the left, ICU nurse, and Susie, who I'm not sure of her job now. We know she was a Disney princess and also a Hannah Brown doppelganger. There are the final three. How does this shake out? How does it all go down? Let's see what Reality Steve has to say about it. From Reality Steve, final update. Here's where I'm at. I'm secure in saying I know how this season ended in Iceland. However, I don't have all the semantics of how we get to that point in terms of if someone left when, who met Clayton's parents, how the final day went, etc. I know the format of how it ended and which persons were involved. So here's what I'm going to do. Give me till next Tuesday after the Woman Tell All airs on Monday. And if I haven't gotten a better picture of how we get from overnight dates to the finale, I'll just give you what happens at the end. Then we'll just have to guess and speculate how it got to that point based on the promos and whatnot. I think we have an idea, but we definitely don't have the full picture because there seems to be many moving parts. It seems like moving parts might be what got Clayton in this mess in the first place.
Oh my
If you know what I'm talking about. Sorry there for that graphic audio. Her hearing anything about the Bachelorette yet, locations, etc. Reality Steve says, heard a couple of locations, but still waiting to get those confirmed and have a few of the guys that'll release closer to the release date. So it appears that Reality Steve already has some guys that are going to be on the show, but I don't believe they've cast the female, the Bachelorette, the disgruntled female, as Brendan Moraes would say. She won't be too disgruntled to get that verification as she searches for love. All right, so here's also what Reality Steve says. He seems really confident that Clayton isn't with Rachel. I'm just going to guess Clayton is single. Hey, Reality Steve, you alluded to the fact that you're certain Clayton isn't with Rachel, but how do you know that? I know you can't give up your sources, but that's a pretty big spoiler. Anything else you can fill us in on there? Thanks. Love the site, and can't wait to see how this plays out. Comments, and then Reality Steve's comment is, not without getting too detailed, no. All I can say is a source I trust told me, and I have no reason not to believe it. He's not with her. I also have no reason to believe he will be with her either come the finale. A lot of people have sort of related this season to Pilot Pete's. Of course, Pete, in the finale, we were still finding out new information, new safe meetings with him and Madison. And by the time they got to the after the final rose, were they no longer together? Madison, Pilot Pete's mom's getting involved. The diplomatic, the person who solves World War III, Pilot Pete's mom. If you've been watching my content, you know what I'm talking about. Bachelor whatever compiles a couple good hypotheticals. What if Clayton is with Susie? She's the one he asked to come back, and she did. Or she rejected him. Or he asked Rachel to come back and rejected him. So wouldn't it be great if Clayton just asked the final three, each of them, hey, you're the one, will you come back? No, that's it. Then the next one, hey, you're the final one, will you come back? No, that's it. By the third one, they're kind of onto him. Are you just asking all of us? If Rachel isn't the winner, would you want to see her as Bachelorette? 58% say no. I personally would rather see her on the beach than as Bachelorette. I don't have a strong opinion about Rachel, and it's of no offense to Rachel. I just, I don't know. She seems to have what I believe to be the strongest relationship with Clayton, but that might be the most sexual. I'm really not sure. As you know from their one-on-one dates, you had her sitting on his lap, face to face, sitting at the edge of the dock, pretty heavy, pretty romantic. And then you have Susie. I think we can all agree that Gabby's, and again, this is all hypothetical because we really don't know, but I feel like Gabby's sort of an afterthought here. It appears to me that Gabby is the number one choice for the next Bachelorette. She's got an edit that's really strong and powerful with her hometown dates. And she seems to be well-liked universally by everyone. Who wouldn't want that person being the next Bachelorette? Not to mention an ICU nurse and other, awards that she's received as a Denver Broncos cheerleader. She seems to be a very good pick if that's where they go, or they go with someone from her previous season, a Natasha or somebody else. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know. I mean, it's, it's one of those seasons where it's a little different than in the past. With Michelle's season, the spoiler that she and Nate were together was so obvious so early. With some other seasons, Katie Thurston's season, it was a little bit more up in the air, how things went down with Greg Grippo. I personally knew it got really messy, but then when we watched it play out, it was even messier than I could have imagined. And with Clayton, the fact that what is to come, being the after the final rose, those types of conversations, there has to be a lot that's unresolved, especially if he ends up single. Would Clayton Eckhart go to Bachelor in Paradise? Where does he go from here? I saw a post that was a let me search for this real quick. I saw a post that was a Clayton appreciation post. Here it is. Bachelor Rabbit Hole said, I've been critical of Clayton, the Bachelor, so this is an appreciation post for Clayton, the human being, the effed up TV show we all love. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And the dude is human, and he has taken our criticism and jokes with stride. That is true. So there he is sitting alone in a car, very nice car, by the way. And here he is playing with some of the kids on a group date, petting a dog. So he, showing off, that he's a guy just like the rest of us, which some people lose sight of that because he's a strong, tall guy and he's in the privileged position of being the lead of the show. But in the end, his heart beats like the rest of ours, and I'm sure he's feeling a lot of pain and distraught from what he's gone through. With the Katie Thurston video yesterday, Nick Viall mentioned that he thought Katie Thurston had PTSD from the show. And somebody commented and said, hey, we shouldn't be just throwing around the term PTSD. And my thoughts on this are pretty, so my father, PTSD is on my father's death certificate. He had PTSD from Vietnam. That's a very specific type of PTSD that wasn't even a disorder when he was there. People didn't know what it was. They called it shell shock, right? But then PTSD can also exist in ways where I got in a car accident a couple years ago, and then I didn't think I had PTSD from it, and then people would approach from the side I got hit, and I would get kind of jumpy. Very mild PTSD. So it comes in all forms, but being the lead of a show, being someone who's lived your whole life not in the public eye with the public scrutiny, and people projecting a lot of their feelings. How could you do this? You treated her the wrong way. a lot of vile comments that he has to deal with could be its own specific type of PTSD. I don't think it takes an expert to say that that could be what's going on there, and that doesn't make light of people that have been in war and other things. It's a spectrum, folks. It's very fluid, like most things in life. Some people have said, oh, Katie Thurston, she has PTSD from being on the show. Well, she should have known what she was signing up for. And to which I replied, that is the least graceful, sort of least amount of critical thinking somebody could do, to say, oh, they asked for it. Clayton didn't ask for what he's going through right now. Sure, he's a part of it, and he's trying the best with the information he has, and the show probably cast him because they knew he was going to be a train that may derail itself, and it appears that might just have happened in Iceland. We'll see how it all plays out. Let me know what you guys think. You can leave a spoiler in this comment section, and I'd love to know. We'll find out how this plays out next week. All right, see you later, folks.